So to start off our trip, when we were coming in, my dad is one of the worst drivers we've ever seen in our entire lives. But, isn't a lie, there's 5 different mentions on here. But, so how we started off our trip is we were all super excited to get to the work site, obviously, but we were also excited to go to Buc-ee's. So, we see the Buc-ee's. My dad goes, "Let's go to Buc-ee's." Wait, I missed the exit. Is that a church? No. Well, it was. So we ended up having a rough start of our trip. And then when we came in, obviously we had my puppet show, which is why Josh drew the puppet. We should probably add Picasso to the list. But our leaders weren't born, they're made. That was one of our words to live by because all of us kept on switching with everything, becoming the leaders and stuff. We had Jenga because for some reason Oliver and Josh were doing weird structures with Jenga pieces, and they were entertaining for like hours. But every morning we had the art, or not every morning, but every single time we went in the car, these are long car rides to get to our work sites, so obviously I go in the back and I take a nap. But the whole argument is that every day people would be like, "Who's waking up Cece? Like, who's waking them up?" And so then our theme song was Purple Hat Cheetah Print, dancing on the people, and the Space Van, which is our vehicle that we use to drive around everywhere. It's like built like a space shuttle, and it smelled like fish for some reason. And then we had Josh as an amazing cheerleader and a singer because he needed pom-poms. He was like amazing at cheering. Josh, where are you?
Here I am. That's what it was.
Okay, so enthusiastic. I don't know why Miss Bridget wrote it, but she wrote CC is Pookie. And small plus foot, small foot equals no.
Fish smell plus feet.
Oh, fish smell plus feet smell. And so then here's our mascot, Cheeks. This is Cheeks. His name, he has that name because he has butt cheeks. And for some reason, every time Cheeks would have appearance, Oliver would touch the butt cheeks, as you can see in our drawing here. Do you want to give a demonstration?
Okay.
He's a little odd. And then as the class time, we had a hacky sack, which is like this little ball that we would like throw around, and none of us were very good at it besides Oliver. We had Julian's trooper because he's our little princess on our trip, and he was willing to get dirty. And then we have all of us holding on for dear life while my dad is driving.
I promise our kids are safe.
And then we kind of just said like, I can't read anything upside down, but not all cars have automatic locks. We found out the hard way. Miss Bridget opened the door and almost fell out. Only a little bit. But we as much as they talked about their neighbors, we didn't really talk about much about our neighbors, but they were really nice. They gave us bracelets, they did all these nice things for us, but we didn't have as much good drawing skills as them. So.
Awesome. All right, so thank you guys, that was awesome. So if you are speaking, go ahead and sit in this front row if you're speaking. But I want to just name that with our kids, you know, when they are on these mission trips, half of the journey is the inside jokes that they bring back with them, and the stories and the things that they will tell. We said with the rain and everything that was happening, it was just one of these things where, you know, you will tell these stories to your kids, or you will tell these stories years from now when you are doing this. So let's give them one more round of applause. Thank you for sharing with us. I'll go ahead and sit down. And so I'm going to let's have Marchant. You want to Marchant speak first? So the question, you can go ahead and go to the sermon slide, and the first question of how did you see God this week, Marchant?
Okay, I'm gonna wing this. How do we see God this week? So Just a little context, in Wilkesboro, North Carolina, the socioeconomic conditions are much different. We're literally in the mountains. Most of these neighbors have financial challenges, especially with regards to housing. And so I think that's an experience in itself. Some of the folks that we serve have not been out of their homes for 2 years. So these accessibility projects are quite an impact. So I think just being able to see or how our team experience other socioeconomic conditions other than our own, I think was a big experience. But where we saw God was just the teamwork. So many of us have gone through the Mike Hetman School of Construction and throwing everything out and restarting if we needed to. So what we saw God was a lot of the seniors that had left, a lot of the younger kids that have been on these teams for years really rose to the occasion. I had not been on a team with CC for quite a while, so it was interesting to, frown upside down, or shine before we put a deck board on. So I think seeing that mentorship from the older students and from the adult leaders in years past, that certainly came through. Josh, I'm going to pick on you for a second. So he had mentioned that over the last year during youth group, it is structured, but there's not a lot of time for interactions, or at least quality interactions, one-on-one for any amount of time. So the comment was at the end of the trip saying, hey, I've had more interactions in the last week than I have with my phone and carried through where it was quite to see. He's also the guitarist he was all in one. He was our music director, he was our dance instructor, and it was really great to see how he had grown as well. So she's telling me I have enough. Okay, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Marshall. Marshall, how long have you been, you keep this on. How many years have you been doing this now?
About 6 years.
6 years. So Mike Hetman, who's over here, has been a big trainer of these teams, and so when Mike Hetman retired, which we understand, Mike Hetman, we still miss your wood trailer. Yeah, that definitely came up a lot. But Marchant really took that lead of helping us with the woodworking knowledge, and grateful for that many years of leadership as well as all of our volunteers. Who would like to go next? All right, Oliver.
All right, so there was this game, it's called Hacky Sack. And it's like this little ball that we would just it's kind of like a kick-up game, like a soccer game. And one day, Cece, Miss Bridget, and Miss Brandy, my mother, they decided that they would like to play Hacky Sack. And Mr. Marchant came to me and they said, hey, they're playing Hacky Sack in the cafeteria, would you like to go? I said, sure. And after that, another person came. And after that, another person came. And after that, there's about 10, 15 people all playing Hacky Sack from different churches, people we've never even talked to. And that was really great. I saw God bringing us all together, playing that game. It was a lot of fun. We played it every night to just get close with everyone. I don't really know, but God's love was just in there, friendships and everything. And it was just really great to see that. So, yeah.
I think we had a couple of situations where the table just kept getting bigger, maybe being invitational. And this group has always been known for being invitational at the camp, and people know them as being the friendly church. So now are you going to finish this off?
I guess I misunderstood the memo, but I actually wrote a script for mine. Okay. Don't mind me, it's from my phone. So, to me, the glory of God's kingdom has showed up to me in various ways this week, and I would like to share a little story time. I believe it was the second day of being on the work site where we mostly did yard work. Me and my friend Lucy had just finished pulling weeds from this property's entrance, and we decided to walk up the driveway to take a break. At this time, Lucy is in front of me, and mind you, this was a gravel driveway, and I wasn't completely paying attention to it until something happened to catch my eye. I double take, and there on the gravel was a tiny bumblebee crawling over these gravel rocks that were half his size. So I take my hat off and decide to put him on a flower in the garden at the top of the hill where we were going to. I put him down, walk over to Lucy, and plop down on the ground for a water break. Not even 2 minutes go by when I put my water bottle down next to me, and the bumblebee just walks on by me like he's minding his own business. And yes, it was the same bee. I pointed it out to Lucy and we sat in confusion, just watching him. While we were watching him walk from next to me to in front of both of us, I'm thinking to myself, did he just fly over here? Like, what on earth is this guy doing? And as I was wondering this, the little bee suddenly stops and seems to give up. At this moment, I had sort of an aha moment. Every morning of the mission trip, we had a quiet time or a devotional time with God called Morning Watch. This morning's passage was about the prophet Elijah and how he flees from people who threaten to take his life. He finds himself walking through the desert for a day, where he eventually gives up and begs for the Lord to take his life. But instead, the Lord sent his messenger, who provided Elijah with food and drink and gave him rest. And in that moment, I knew I wanted to be the bumblebee's messenger. I picked up my water bottle and poured water next to him and onto the little bee. Don't drown him, Lucy says. I won't. I tried to put a little lid next to him, but he wouldn't get up to go drink. So I slightly poured it on his little head and saw him brush off his antennas and assumed that water must have gotten his mouth, which was enough for me to know he'd be okay. Later, I found him in my work gloves. I picked it up and I was like, why is this vibrating? And I put him in a nice planter with a bed of succulents where he laid for the rest of the time. Reflecting back on the story, it helped me understand that everyone has their own journey to make. When I moved him, I thought I was helping, but apparently I'd only sent him back. Which makes me think of all these people who have reached out to Carolina Cross Connections for a helping hand and better ways, and for a helping hand and for a better start or even a restart on their own journeys. It is truly a blessing to have the opportunity to help others alongside my church, friends, and family, because the Lord knows we're stronger together. Thank you.
All right, we're done, right?
Oh, Josh. No, Josh, come on.
So mine will be relatively short, as I'm not really speaking on one specific event, but I say that I saw God in the little things, the little fun times and laughs that we had, like Oliver's saying with Hacky Sack, but not only with other churches, but within our own church as well. Like, for example, building the Eiffel Tower with Jenga blocks, or